Who is Sherlock Holmes? Nowadays, when we think about the great detective, we see something like that. We imagine a tall man who's wearing an Inverness cape, a deathstalker hat, and a calabash pipe, with extraordinary, infallible powers of deduction, used in the name of the law. We immediately think about his housemate, Dr. John Watson, his housekeeper, Mrs. Hudson, and his arch-nemesis Moriarty, a mathematics professor. We remember his popular catchphrase, "Elementary, my dear Watson," and maybe someone can tell us something about his drug use, in order to keep his brain constantly active. Well, most of these features don't appear in Arthur Conan Doyle's original novels.
Sherlock Holmes solves crimes in very different ways, and the main part of these systems are illegal. Doyle's detective at times guesses, and regularly makes false suppositions too. Mrs. Hudson is hardly mentioned. Moriarty appears in just 2 stories, and Watson lives in another place after he gets married. Furthermore, no one says "elementary, my dear Watson," but P.G. Wodehouse coined it. And his drug use is infrequent after the first and the second novel. His attire was completely invented by the official illustrator Sidney Paget, because the novels were published on a newspaper, the Strand magazine, from 1887 to 1927.
So, who is the real detective? Someone may say it's Arthur Conan Doyle's university mentor, Dr. Joseph Bell, who inspired the author with his skills. But actually, there isn't a right or wrong answer to the question. Sherlock Holmes is probably the most adaptive fictional character in the entire world. This began with Victorian theatre versions, and then increased because of films, and other mass media are the responsible of all these newer and newer Sherlock, sometimes even in contradictory ways. He appears in some anti-Nazi propaganda films, enjoyed by Churchill and Roosevelt, and at the same time in German films which were the favorites of Adolf Hitler. Sherlock was originally going to be called Sherringford, but Doyle used Sherlock probably because of a cricketer who bore the name. And yes, Doyle was a fan of cricket. Maybe there isn't any original Sherlock Holmes, but just lots of interpretation, and it is a wonderful character.